Hello my beautiful people. So for this week's video, we're going to be using the Nubian 2 palette by Juvias. We're also going to be using the gel glitter from ColourPop, and the name is Bring the Heat, and it is this gold beautiful glitter that I just am crazy about, and if I could bathe in this, I would. I love it. I've been wanting to get some glitters for a while, and I finally got my hand on a few, but we're going to be using the gold one. Okay, and then in the coming weeks, we're going to be using the other ones. So anyways, I just really love this look. This is going to be what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be talking about how I met my husband, which is a very cute story to me. It is a story dear to my heart because that's how I met the love of my life. Not that romantic, but it's just cute to me. But anyways, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you for watching, and stay tuned. So let's get started. So today I'm going to be talking about how I met my lovely husband, right? And I like the story because it's actually like a very it was kind of unexpected, and it was super weird. Not super weird, but it was just like kind of weird for us. So I met him at a bar. It was like a bar, club, whatever, you know. We were younger. We've been together for 4 years, so 4 years, yeah. So anyways, I met him, and we were at the bar, and he asked me to dance, right? And then when he asked me to dance, he walked away from me or whatever, right? Like when we were dancing, and then he's like, I'm gonna check on my friends, and I'll be back. And I was like, all right, whatever, right? But he never came back. And I was like, sir, right? So then whatever, I mean, I kept having fun or whatever. I was with my friends anyways. We were having a good time, and then we go, because this was a two-story bar. And I was like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? And we go downstairs, and I see him dancing, and I see him with friends, and then he's dancing with some other girl or something. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then his friend approached me because he saw me. So I was like, hey, what's up? You know, whatever. And I was like, so what happened to your friend, right? Like, what's up with him? And so he pulls him or whatever, and then he asked me for my number, right? He asked me for my number, and I was like, sure, you know, you're cute, whatever. I gave him my number, and that's all. That's all he asked me for. He didn't say anything else. Like, he wasn't like, you know, nothing. He just asked me for my number and said, have a good night. And I was like, all right, cool, right? So then I go home, and he's texting me. But the thing is, and he knows this, the thing is that night, I had also got phone numbers from another, like, 2 guys. And I was kind of drunk. So I didn't save the numbers by name. So he texted me, and he was texting me already. He was texting me that night. So then I was like, okay, whatever. So when I woke up the next morning, I thought I knew what phone number belonged to each person. But then I wasn't sure, right? I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to be that ass and be like, oh, what's your name? So then I forgot about it, right? Because he actually didn't even text me the next morning, and I was like, I'm gonna forget about it because, like, I don't know the names, and I don't want to be an ass and be like, oh, who are you, right? And just sound, yeah. So anyways, so then he never hit me up again. And we had texted that night. We had text all night until we fell asleep or whatever. And he seemed like a really cool guy. And then he just never texted me again. And I was like, all right, whatever. But then I just never even saw him again. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever, right? So then months went by, and I started dating somebody else. And it was funny because as time went by, because months went by, I kind of wonder what happened to the kid, right? I wonder what happened to the one guy or whatever. But I just didn't see him again. And the funny part is I had seen his friend a couple of times, but I didn't know him like that to ask or anything. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then I had broken up that relationship, and months have gone by, right? And I had broken up that relationship I was in, And then it was kind of like a bad relationship. So I had told myself, well, I'm going to give myself some time, you know, to just do better. And then I'll see. And then I'll see what happens. But again, this guy was nowhere to be seen, right? And so I was like, whatever. So again, a couple months went by. And then we had met initially in March. And then in November, I walked into the same club with my friends, ready to get it started, you know, because I was single and I was enjoying my life and I was happy. And I was over like the BS that other people had put me through. And I had put myself through, like, you know, it takes two to tango. Well, like that. And I walk into the club and there he is. And I was like, hold up, I recognize you. But I didn't say anything, right? I was kind of like, I said not, right? Whatever. And again, this is a 2-story bar. So I was like, I'm just going to give it a few minutes, right? We'll see. Let's see if something comes out of it. And then, so me and my friends went upstairs and we're having a couple of drinks. And then all of a sudden he comes upstairs and he's standing next to us. And I'm like, you know, so I am really shy when it comes to certain things, right? So then I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk to him. And I was with one of my friends. I was with a bunch of my friends, but like one of her cousins, guy cousins, was there. And he saw that I kind of kept looking at the guy. So he was like, hey, dude, my friend wants to talk to you. And I was like, stop it. I hate when people do that. I just can't stand it. For people to do that, I can't stand it. But I was like, because I get very, very embarrassed mostly, right? I just get really embarrassed. So I was like, stop it. And so then when he told him that, he kind of like asked me to dance. And I was like, take two, right? Let's do this again. Let's try this again or whatever. And another thing is like, I'm very straightforward and I'm very like awkward sometimes. So then he asked me to dance and I was so nervous because I didn't know what to say. I don't know. Nobody had made me feel that nervous actually in my life. But I was so nervous that I spilled my drink on him. Not once, not 2 times, but 3 times. He should have just stopped talking to me at that point. Seriously, he should have just walked away from me. Like, this girl is a whole mess. But he kept talking to me. And on the second time I spilled my drink, I actually offered to buy him another one because I was like, okay, this is enough. Like, I can't, right? So then, I spilled my drink on him a couple times, and then I told him, I was like, okay, I gotta tell you why I'm so nervous. I was like, I don't know, but so then I was like, okay, because he asked me for my number again because it was about almost closing time or whatever. So he asked me for my number again, and he was like, and I was like, I already know you. Your name is Sean. And he's like, and I was like, I promise I'm not a stalker. And I was like, if you put your number, if you call me from your phone number is going to appear on my phone watch. And so I gave my number, he called, and obviously his number was saved on my phone because who deletes contacts? But I had changed my phone number through the year for other circumstances. And he was just like, oh, for real. And he's gonna swear, he's gonna tell everybody that he remembered me, but I know he didn't. But so yeah, so when he called my number, you could see that obviously I wasn't lying and he did know me. And I mean, we did have each other's phone numbers. So then after that, I kind of felt like, I mean, I don't know how anybody feels about stuff like this, but it kind of felt meant to be-ish. And then we just never stopped talking after that. Like, we kind of talked every day. We started dating. We broke up a few times. I mean, obviously, we're not perfect. We had issues, and we had to get to a middle point in our commitment to each other. But yeah, I mean, it worked out. And it's crazy because I felt like at the time he was giving me something that I really needed. I wasn't looking for anything like, oh my God, I want to be wooed or not. Not that he didn't, but I was looking for respect and loyalty, and I was looking for other things more long term. So it's crazy that, to me at least, he came to my life once, and I probably wasn't ready, because when I first met him, going back, the first time I met him, I had just got out of a very, very bad relationship. That it took me years to actually call abusive, but that's what it was. And then I met him, and then he left. And then I dated somebody else that wasn't good for me either. And then he came back. And then I was ready. I think I had learned what I needed to learn, and I had stopped attracting the wrong people to my life because I was over it. I seriously sat down one day and I was like, okay, what am I doing to attract this type of man to my life? And then I was like, whatever the norm was before, I'm gonna stop. Like, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna start doing new things. And then he came back to my life. It was just so crazy to me, because from then on, it was like me and him, just me and him, you know? And I mean, if you are questioning why he was away for, because he left for like 8 months or 9 months or something. He's in the military, so he went on a deployment. And he went on a deployment like the week after I met him, so that's why I didn't see him again for a while. And so it was kind of crazy to me, because he left and then came back, and they're picked up. And our anniversary actually is that day that I saw him for the first time, because ever since that day, we just didn't stop. We didn't stop talking to each other. We did just pretty much were in a relationship. I mean, he fought it a lot. He'll tell you he didn't, but he did. I mean, and we both did, because, you know, somebody comes into your life, they don't come in your terms. You know, that's where you mess up. Thinking that people come in our terms, and they have to be patient for us, and they have to be all this for us, and what are we for them, you know? But yeah, and then we dated for 3 years before we got married. 3 years and some change. But by that point, he knows that I felt like that was it for me. Like, he was it. Like, with all his stubbornness and everything, like, he was it. That was the person I wanted to be with. And vice versa, right? But like, it's crazy, right? How he just left, and then all of a sudden he's back, and then we picked up right at where we left off. And then it goes for him too, because he said that when he was away, he felt like it was time for him to be in a relationship too. And I don't know if he was just saying that. I'm just kidding. But that's how we found each other. It's pretty nice to me. Like, it's a really cute story for me, how we came into each other's life or whatever, and we stayed. I'm gonna put on my eyelashes, and I'll be back. And this is the look.